Hello and welcome to another edition of the Lighthouse Video Series. I'm Stephen Madill, the Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Nichols Portland, Inc. We're coming to you from our Ridgeway facility in Ridgeway, Pennsylvania, where we focus on the PM or sintered technology here. Today I have with me Seth Weible, our lead engineer at this facility, and Jeff Howie, our VP of Advanced Engineering. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me.
Thanks.
Today's topic, again, we can go through so many topics when it comes to our technology, but really one of the critical parts of our technology is material selection and understanding what type of materials you can utilize in our technology. So, Jeff, maybe you can start us off with where do we start with the wide variety of material that we offer?
Yeah, there's a whole spectrum of different materials that we use. We mainly focus on ferrous type alloys, carbon steels, copper steels, nickel steels, all the way up to stainless steels. There's other materials out there like bronze and aluminum and brass and things like that, copper. But we mainly focus on the ferrous alloys, and probably at the lower end of that scale, and there's nothing wrong with it, it's just at the lower cost end of that scale,
Right.
you need like your carbon steels, which is just iron with a small amount of carbon in there.
Right.
Very stable dimensionally, very compressible. You can get some high density stuff, but it doesn't have the best properties for strength and things like that. A lot of structural parts are made out of that. Not so many gears and things that see a lot of loading. Moving up the food chain, we get into our copper and nickel steels. These are basically a carbon steel with admixed nickel, copper, blended into it, and that gives the part extra hardenability, a little bit extra strength, a little bit extra impact resistance, things like that. Very compressible. You can get up to around 89, 90, 92% dense of the theoretical density of the material, but again, not superstars as far as what kind of properties you can get out of that material. And then moving a little bit further up the food chain, you start getting into like high torque gearing and high impact loading parts. You're looking more at the low alloy materials, where you have basically a pre-alloyed steel mix with moly, sometimes a little bit of other alloy constituents, and then some admixed copper or nickel or both at that point. And these parts are these materials are a little harder to process, a little bit less compressible, but combined with the density and the sintering, tailoring for those alloys, you get very strong impact resistant parts.
Right.
And then pretty much any material can be then subsequently heat treated after sintering to get some additional properties.
Right.
But those are kind of our run of the mill steel alloys. Right. We also process a lot of stainless, and I'll let Seth talk about stainless steels.
Yep.
Yeah, so as a global provider of L-grade stainless steel products,
Right.
we mainly focus on the 400 series stainless, the 409s, the 434s, in different applications. Got your typical automotive exhaust flanges. You got some different agricultural components, some filtration components.
Right.
And my favorite, we also have some food grade where, when you're sipping on a margarita out in the tropics or having a smoothie or anything like that,
Yeah.
that does come in contact with one of our stainless steel components as well. We are also a provider of 300 series stainless, which is where the market is sort of gravitating towards.
Right.
Some of the 304, the 316.
Yep.
We do a lot of processing of that as well, also in the L grade and in some of the N grades as well.
Yeah, and we're one of the global leaders in manufacturing stainless steel components, and that market in stainless steel is still growing. Maybe, Jeff, you can talk to some of the other markets that we've been talking about applying that stainless steel material to.
Yeah, Seth mentioned is we're kind of migrating towards more applications in the 300 series. I mean, the reason being, traditionally, automotive has been our biggest customer. They use a lot of 400 series stainless in ABS, sensors, and exhaust and after treatment systems and things like that. But with the change in propulsion systems of automotive, some of that stuff's going away. And we're starting to see a lot more applications coming in for medical, as you mentioned, food processing,
Right.
Bulk material, liquid material handling, couplings, things like that. So
Yeah.
that's where the corrosion resistance becomes much more important. than, you know, an exhaust system underneath your car, which nobody really sees.
Yeah, and one of our strengths is we do work with all these different types of grades of materials that when a customer comes to us and says, I have this application, but I don't know what material we can use or should use, we, from our engineering community, can help them design that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a great benefit. And like I said, we're one of the leaders definitely in the sintered world, but also very strong in the stainless.
Yeah, and I feel like one of the reasons we are a leader in stainless in general is anybody can process stainless, but unless you process it correctly, you're not going to get the properties you're looking for.
Right.
You know, we're typically sintering at a much higher temperature than other people,
Right.
and we see a lot of consolidation and density improvement, which helps with the corrosion resistance and the other properties of the material.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Well, gentlemen, thank you for your enlightenment. It was very helpful. If you'd like to learn more about our technology, we do offer a program where we do a lunch and learn or PM 101. If you are interested in that, you can reach us by going to our website at nicholsportlandinc.com and reach out to us through that, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And look forward to hearing from you.